Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Rad Rides. This is Hassan Shirazi. I'm very excited to tell you that I finally got my 2023 Lexus RX500h Performance in Copper Crest. I had been waiting for this car for almost 7 months, and finally, a couple of days after Christmas, the sales representative called me and told me, hey, your car is ready and come and pick it up. So I was very excited and I immediately went and picked up this car. Today I'm going to give you the full review of this Lexus RX500h, and as usual, we're going to be talking about the engine, transmission, wheels, brakes, styling of this car. Also, we're going to talk about the interior, and towards the end, we're going to be taking it for a drive, and we're also going to give you my pros and cons of driving this newest generation of Lexus RX500h. If you're new to this channel, make sure to check out a prior video that I did of a 2020 Lexus RX450h. That's a 4th generation Lexus RX. And as usual, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That's one of the ways that gets our channel growing. All right guys, let's talk a little bit more about this 2023 Lexus RX500h Performance. Now, this is the 5th generation of Lexus RX. Lexus has been making this mid-size RX family from the late 1990s, and they came out with the RX500. There was a V6, then they had the RX330, RX350. Then you had also some hybrid models added in the 3rd and 4th generation of Lexus. So it's been a very tried and true formula for Lexus, and they've been selling this comfortable, luxurious, and reliable SUV to many Americans. It's actually America's #1 best-selling luxury mid-size SUV. So the 4th generation of Lexus RX was very cutting in edge design. It was a lot of sharp creases and crevices that it had, and a lot of people didn't like that. And when you drove the last generation of Lexus RX, which we did, actually the RX450h, it was a very nice and beautiful and luxurious car. However, nothing set that car apart from its competitor, and it didn't have that exciting factor about it. And with this new generation of Lexus RX, Lexus actually changed some key factors about this car. First off, the grille of this car is a lot smaller than the 4th generation Lexus RX. Also, this car no longer offers a V6 that was in the RX350 or the 450h of the previous generation. All the 4 trim levels in this Lexus RX, the 5th generation, are all 4-cylinder turbocharged. Now, you start off with a base one, which is the RX350. Then you jump up to the RX350h, which also has the hybrid battery added to it. There's also another version of the RX, which is a RX450h Plus. That's a plug-in hybrid, and it can give you almost 40 miles of plug-in only or electric only. And the top of the line is this Lexus RX500h Performance, and this one actually has about 366 horsepower and almost 406 pound-feet of torque, and those horsepower and torque numbers are actually very impressive for this car. All right guys, now let's talk about what actually powers this Lexus RX500h. As I mentioned earlier, the 5th generation of Lexus RX comes in 4 trim levels, but they all use the same 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine in one way or the other. What do I mean by that? So the RX350 comes with a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and it makes about 275 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. Then you move up to the RX350h, which actually decreases in power a little bit. It goes to about 250 horsepower, and the torque level is also reduced a little bit. That utilizes a hybrid battery engine. Now, then you move up to a trim level called the RX450h Plus. Plus means it's a plug-in hybrid. It gives you almost about 40 miles of fully electric range. Then the most powerful and performance-oriented of this Lexus RX is the RX500h, and by utilizing 2 electric motors, one smaller in the front and one bigger in the back, it takes that 2.4-liter turbo and it takes the power all the way to 366 horsepower and 407 pound-feet of torque. Now, all of this power is put to the ground via a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, that's kind of interesting because in the RX350, Lexus uses an 8-speed automatic transmission, and in the RX350h and 450h Plus, it uses a CVT transmission, continuous variable transmission. But Lexus because of the more performance oriented that they wanted to get out of this RX500h, they use a 6-speed automatic transmission, and Lexus claims it does a 0-60 in 5.9 seconds. However, a few days ago, I managed to eke out a 5.5 second 0-60, and the car weighs about 4,715 pounds, and the fuel economy is not so bad since it's a performance oriented version of RX. It gets you 27 miles in the city and 28 miles per gallon in the highway for the combined 27 miles per gallon. The car can actually tow about 3,500 pounds. Moving on and talking about the wheels and brakes on this Lexus RX500h, I'm very astonished by the size of these brake rotors, which is 15.4 inches in diameter, and then these brake calipers are 6-piston performance calipers, which is very astonishing for a mid-size SUV, but Lexus RX wanted to set themselves apart, and I guess they just went all the way. Now the wheels on this car are very nice, 10-spoke satin black 21-inch wheels. Now these wheels are wrapped in Bridgestone Alenza all-season tires, and the width of the tires are 235 by 50, which is actually a pretty nice size sidewall, so you don't have to worry about popping these wheels if you go in any kind of potholes or any imperfections on the road. All right guys, now let's talk about the interior of the car. We're gonna first start off with the driver's door. Lexus has used some of the soft touch injected molded plastics. You can see on the top portion of this, then we have this really nice suede Alcantara. And then some more of the really nice soft material with a nice stitching that you see here. Also, you have some nice stitching that goes around here. All the power windows are one touch up and one touch down. You got the power folding mirrors, obviously the controls for the side mirrors, and this is the really nice feature of the door. There's no more door handle. You just click this twice and you can open the door. Now hypothetically, if the car doesn't have any battery, then you go the opposite way, you hold this and then move it twice and it opens the door. Part of the F-Sport package is also these mats that have the F-Sport and obviously RX here. Also, you see the letter F-Sport here, and along with several other places like the seats that you see. Steering wheel has the F-Sport, and obviously the side of the car. So Lexus wants to differentiate this trim level, that telling the customers that this is definitely an F-Sport model. And I really like the pedals that you see, the resting pedal and gas and brake pedal. They're nice aluminum. They make a car look a little bit more sporty. Moving on to the seats. This is a 10-way power adjustable seats with 4-way lumbar support. These are really nice sporty seats. You got the little bit of this element of suede on the side. It's very nice and comfortable, and it's very sporty. It definitely hugs you in the corners. These seats come with 3 memory settings, so that's really nice. All right, here's a window sticker of this 2023 Lexus RX500h Performance, and you can see the price of the car starts at $61,600. We have several options: cold area package, digital rear view mirror. You have the premium triple beam LED headlights. Let's see, panoramic moonroof. There's like several options, and the price of this car adds up to $68,055. All right, the interior of this car is a lot nicer, cleaner, simpler, and it just looks more open than the generation that it replaced. I really love how Lexus has mixed up some of this soft touch injected moldings with this suede Alcantara, with the nice stitching that you see all over this car, with a little bit of aluminum that you see over here. The color pattern, you know, the whole mixture of everything, the configuration is very nice. They've really done a great job with the whole interior of this car compared to the generation that it replaced. So kudos to Lexus on that. This 14-inch infotainment screen that you see in this Lexus is very nice, intuitive. Everything is basically laid out the way it's supposed to be. But one complaint that I have about this vehicle is that you cannot have multiple screens here. On a lot of newer cars, you can have your navigation running and your radio running, but unfortunately in this car, you only have one thing that you can do. If you want to pick another screen, you have to exit that screen and then go to the other one. Another thing about this car is that since my car was one of the very first RX being delivered to actual customers in Southern California, the navigation screen was not set up correctly. So you can actually use your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay instead of that, but I have to wait a few months before I go to the dealership and they can connect that up. Now the climate control is also integrated in the infotainment screen, but also you have physical knobs as well. So one cool factors about this climate control is that obviously you can do a touch screen. It's on the bottom of the infotainment screen. You don't have to exit to come back to it. So that's really nice. Also, I really love the fact that you can either manually set your air condition and cool seats for this car, or you can put it on auto. So if you click on auto, the car senses what the temperature, what the ideal temperature should be, and it chooses that for you. So that's really nice. Also, the same thing goes on with the steering wheel. You can either manually adjust it, or you can just press on auto. I also like these wheels that you can automatically, you can change the temperature of the car if you want, you know, obviously it's very nice. So you got that really nice, they literally look like a wheel. One complaint that I have about this car, mine did not come with the 360 camera. I think for a car that is almost $70,000, it should have come with 360 camera. Coming down the center console, I really like this area. You have your wireless charging for your cell phone. You got some room over here. Then you have the USB type A and type C. Also, you have your 10-volt charger here. You also have another couple of more USB type C's up there. Then you can close this, and it's very nice and soft. You have a little bit of space over here as well. Then you got two cup holders here. Really nice thing about this cup holder is you can press it down for longer cups. Then you can press this button right here. It says push, and the cup holder, actually the bottom of it comes up, it kind of adjusts. One of the most interesting things about this car, it's the shift knob. So it's a very nice, about like 3 inches, and how you change gears, you got to press it to the left. Then that puts it in neutral. Then if you want to go to drive, you bring it down. If you want to go to reverse, you come up. Also, if you want to put it in manual, you bring it all the way down like that. Then that gives you the chance to change the gears manually with this paddle shift. Another thing about this car that is a little bit different is you have this little picture of a car with tree. That's actually an off-road. I don't know how many people would actually take this Lexus into off-roading. And when you press that off-road button, a little icon of the car with tree comes up. But I don't think a lot of people will take this car off-roading. This car comes with 7-inch digital screen, and it can be changed slightly. You have 4 different choices. You have your eco that we're on right now. Then I can put it in normal. It changes it a little bit. Then if you want to be more sporty mode, you can click on sport. Obviously, then you get your tachometer here. And also you can do a custom, and you can change things the way you want it. I really like the steering wheel. The way the steering wheel feels is really nice. It's firm. The stitching on it is really nice. And you have these nice paddle shifters. They're very nice and handy to use. Now the car comes with a heads-up display. It's actually very useful. Lexus has decluttered the steering wheel by putting these arrows on the steering wheel. They're identical. What you see on the right, you see also on the left. But when you press them, you can definitely see different things that you can switch out. So that's actually nice and nifty. You can control various things with these buttons that you see on the steering wheel. I also like this little screen that you see. It actually senses your eyes to the position of your driving. If the car notices that you're not paying attention, it will actually send you a message in your digital screen. The car comes with power adjustable steering wheel, so it's very nice, up and down. This RX500h also comes with dual pane moonroof, and it definitely brings in some light to the car so you don't get that claustrophobic effect. You can open the cover of this dual pane moonroof with a touch of a button, and you can also close it doing the same thing. And then when you can open the moonroof of this car, it's very nice. It's a big size moonroof, and it gives you some nice air. It doesn't go all the way back. And you also have this little screen over here to reduce wind noise. So that's really nice with this car. You also can do a tilt on the moonroof as well. Another thing that I really love about this Lexus is that you have a digital rear view camera. And that definitely helps out. You can see things very nice and clearly, and the camera is actually located inside of the car, so you don't have to worry about the camera getting dirty and you cannot see. And if you don't want the camera, you can just flip this bottom and it's just a regular mirror. And we also have a glove box, and it's really nice that it's felt lined, so it's very nice and comfortable. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a little demo of how to get inside of this Lexus RX500h. All right, as you see, if the seats are all the way back, I still got a little bit of leg room, but if you're a taller person, obviously that would be a little bit more difficult. Nice headroom. I like how Lexus has used the same high quality material that you see in the front of the car, also in the back of the car. You got this nice suede Alcantara on the side, the soft molded injection plastic on the top. You also have the nice stitching on the side. Obviously, you got the power windows, you got your own speakers on the top as well. And I like the fact that Lexus has, in this RX500h, you have both heated seats and air-conditioned seats for the rear passengers, and also you have two USB type C's as well. You also have some cup holders as well. You have two cup holders right here. You gotta press this button, it comes up. Then you have a little bit of space as well right here. You can put some stuff in there. All right, the seats of the car also recline back on the back side. You can go a little bit back and front. So that's a nice nifty feature. All right, let's talk a little bit about the trunk space of this car. Lexus doesn't have an official figure, but I think it's about 40 cubic inches of space that you see here. Also, this car was optioned with a rear cargo mat, which is really nice and nifty. You can put some smaller stuff here, and then they won't move around. You also have the Lexus first aid kit, F-Sport mats, and underneath these mats, you also have a full-size tire. You also have a nice size speaker right here, and you also have a 12 volt outlet right here. What's really nice about this, you can fold the rear seats as you see with a button, and you can also recline them back, so that's pretty nice. Then you also have the cargo cover. You can bring it here and push it back. If you want to close the tailgate, you can either press on this button that will just close it, or press on this button that will close and lock it. Or you can also utilize your key fob. You can press this, and if you hold it, it will close it for you. Or a nice nifty feature is that you slide your feet underneath the rear bumper and it will close it for you. So that's actually pretty nice and cool. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about the exterior styling of this Lexus RX500h. I really like how this generation of Lexus RX looks cleaner, nicer, and overall just looks good in general. And if you get the F-Sport that I have on my RX500h, the contrast between the grille and the color of the car, it just makes it more menacing. Now, the hood of the car, I really like that on both sides you got this little bulge, and it's very nice and symmetric how it ends on the hood line, but also it has a little kind of snout in the front. It's really nice and clean. We have these triple beam LED headlights, which are really cool. Then you got this little L-shaped corner light, looking kind of reminiscing of the Lexus, or like the little squish line. You have your headlight washer over here. Coming to the grille, as I mentioned, the grille of this new generation of RX is a lot smaller than the previous generation. I like how you got these little L's all the way, kind of like a little Nike swish lines going all throughout. Not a big fan of these vents, because these are fake and they don't even provide anything. Like how you have this nice LED fog light, and I really like to dig this contrast between black and copper crest, which gives it a really nice touch. And this front lip is also really nice. It's aluminum, gives it a nice, really distinctive look. And housed behind this Lexus logo, you have all your sensors for your front camera, your Lexus safety sense, so it kind of measures the distance you have between your car and the car in front of you. So I hope you never get in a car accident and damage this front logo, which will be very expensive to replace. Moving on the side, really nice profile that this Lexus has. Now, Lexus has increased the wheelbase on this car by 2.5 inches. That means you have more space inside. They also increased the width of the car for about an inch, and they lowered the car a little bit, so it has a nice wider stance and it looks a lot more sleeker than the generation that it replaced. Really love those 21-inch wheels that are finished in satin black. Lexus has these black chrome moldings on A, B, and C pillars, so again, it gives it a nice contrast between this copper crest against black. One neat thing about the door handles on this Lexus is that you press a button, it's got a button on the back of it, and that's how you open it up, so that's pretty cool. Really like this dual pane moonroof that you see, and again, you got the black against the tinted glass that you see, and you got your little shark fin antenna. That is really cool. Really nice and smooth quarter panel, and this whole back end of this car is very nice and sleek. Love how these taillights that they start kind of like in the middle of this quarter panel have these little L's inside of them, and obviously that signifies Lexus. Another theme that you can see is a little L looking thing right here. That's pretty cool. Then you got this nice long light bar, and another difference that you see from this generation of Lexus RX to the previous one, and you see it in all the newer Lexus, is the changing of the word Lexus with the Lexus logo, with the L logo. So that you can see it on the new redesigned NX, the LX, and I'm sure all the other Lexus are gonna have it. And I really like this rear glass and how you cannot see the rear wiper blade. So the Lexus, kind of like the Toyota 4Runners, have hit the rear wiper blade, so that's pretty nice and cool, makes a more cleaner finish. And the back of the car, you got these little fake vents that I don't like. Since this car is hybrid, I know it's a high performance hybrid, but they still did not include any exhaust pipes. You also have these little side vents on the back of the quarter panel, which are actually fake again. And then the car says that it is the RX500h. All right guys, but now we're taking the RX500h for a little drive. I really love the feel of this steering wheel, and as I mentioned, it has an automatic heated steering wheel. So basically the car senses the temperature of the outside. It's a little bit of raining day in Southern California. It's actually been raining for the past few days, which is kind of unusual in Southern California. But anyhow, I would really feel secure with this car because this car is also all-wheel drive, so you don't have to worry about the wheels spinning. Really love these heavily bolstered and sporty F-Sport seats. They got a really nice feel to them. This is definitely a big improvement over the previous generation RX. I know that I've driven an RX350 before, and also we did a full review on that RX450h, but this car feels a lot different in a good way. Although it has a 4-cylinder engine, 2 fuel cylinders, it has a lot more power thanks to the 2 electric batteries that it had, especially the one in the back. So you really don't even feel any turbo lag. So this car, by many ways, it's better performing. It gives you better gas mileage, faster, more fun to drive, less boring, especially in this beautiful and eye-catching and unique color that you see, this copper crest, which actually costs about almost $600. And my wife really loves this RX500h as well. All right guys, I'm gonna put the car in sport mode, and we're gonna give it some gas to unleash the 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Definitely can go. A lot of power can be unleashed. Car drives very solid. Cornering, when I was going in the corners, getting on the highway or getting off, it's very nice. It grips the road. With this new body style, Lexus, as I mentioned, has increased the wheelbase by 2.5 inches and the width by about 1 inch, and also lowered the car about 1 inch, so it has a more sleek look and wider stance to it, and it also hugs the corners and has a better handling, especially with those 21-inch F-Sport wheels that you see with those all-season tires. So kudos to Lexus. You think that the Lexus RX is one of the boring Lexuses that, you know, always the soccer moms drive, but in this trim level, the RX500h Performance, it actually feels really fun. I love it. I love how it feels. And like I mentioned, my wife really loves it. Now, majority of the Lexus RX owners are actually ladies. Like, Audi Q7s, Q5s, majority of them are also ladies. So women drivers' opinion matters big time. So for you ladies out there, if you're looking to get one of these Lexus RXs, this is the car for you. Definitely a big improvement over the previous generation. The material is also very nice and soft. It's just a fit and finish. It's a very cleaner design, less edgy design. The interface, the infotainment is very nice to operate. It's just a big improvement over the previous generation. And it gives you really, really good gas mileage too. So for those people that are concerned about gas mileage on a, performance-oriented SUV, this is the car for you. I've been giving it some gas. I'm averaging about 19.3 miles per gallon, but if I was a little bit less heavy-footed on gas, I guarantee you I would get probably 23, 24, or 25 miles per gallon easily, which is pretty good for a car that has over 350 horsepower and over 400 pound-feet of torque. Lexus and its parent company, Toyota, have built a solid reputation of making cars that are reliable, they hold their value good, they're very comfortable and tried and tested. They've done a lot of research and development, R&D, before releasing any of their cars. Any of the cars that comes out of Lexus or Toyota has been thoroughly tested. That's why they sell a lot of them, and a lot of people come back. The brand loyalty of Lexus and Toyota is very, very high, especially when you have a lot of domestic and European companies that don't have as good of a quality compared to Lexus if you plan to keep a car for a long period of time. And no wonder Lexus RX is America's #1 selling luxury SUV, mid-size SUV. So I guarantee you this is going to be another heavy seller, especially with the 4 trims. You got your basic 350, or you got the plug-in hybrid, you got a regular hybrid, and you got the performance version of a hybrid. So you got basically a car for any buyer out there to fulfill their desires and basic needs. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Rad Rides covering my brand new 2023 Lexus RX500h Performance. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That's one of the ways that gets our channel growing. And for future episodes, we're going to be definitely featuring a comparison between this 3rd generation 4Runner, which is a 5-speed manual, against my brand new 4Runner TRD Pro. We'll definitely have more episodes of cars that have significance in automotive history. And until next time that we see you guys, take care. Bye.